as we drive your business. My name is Anthony, and we are here with the team to give you financial markets and the latest updates as we wind up the week. What has been trending? What is in the news? And what you can actually keep your hands on. Now, remember, we promised that there will be companies that will be giving out dividends, and they will have debts and to which they will give those dividends. And several companies have actually promised a dividend, including MTN Uganda, that is holding its annual general meeting today, and as well as BAT Uganda, which will also be giving out a dividend and will hold its annual general meeting sometime to be communicated by the company. As well, Wumeme Uganda Limited held its annual general meeting on the 19th of May 2022 at exactly 10 a.m. and they will have their book closure date as 24th June 2022. Now remember, the book closure date is the date at which you don't have you will past that date, you will not be able to access the dividend if at all you're paying, maybe you're buying shares past the book closure date. So if at all you want to gain a little bit of dividend from Wumeme in their financial year that just ended, you have to buy shares by 24th of June 2022. Then the dividend payment date will be 22nd of July 2022. And the dividend they have declared is 54.1 Uganda shillings per share. And NSSF is carrying away over 72.3 billion Uganda shillings right there from Wumeme, because it has the highest shareholding in Wumeme standing at 23.2% of all the total shares that were given to the public in Wumeme. MTN Uganda is declaring a dividend of 4.7. So if you have shares in MTN today, you're going to approve that dividend in MTN. That is during their annual general meeting that is going on right now at their head offices back in Ginger Road, plot 67 to 71 there. If you didn't attend the meeting, I hope you get a proxy, someone who attends the meeting on your behalf. That person is not supposed to be a shareholder in that company, but rather someone who just attends on your behalf. Moving on to Stanbic Holdings. Stanbic Holdings will have its annual general meeting on Thursday, the 2nd of June 2022. East African time will be 11 a.m. The venue will be communicated by the company. There is no book closure date and there is no dividend payment date because there is no dividend being paid by Stanbic Uganda, since Bank of Uganda actually declared that banks this time will not give out any dividend due to the unpredictability of the times, financial times we are living in, due to the high inflation and recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. So as a result, the banks will not be issuing a dividend. But on what will be done for the shareholders, we'll be keeping you up to date according to what the Bank of Uganda officials will be declaring in terms of what will happen to the dividend that was declared, that was supposed to be declared to the shareholders. Remember, Stanbic Uganda made a profit of over 190 billion Uganda shillings, and on that, they were supposed to give out a certain dividend if at all we were living in normal times. So we shall see what exactly happens now if at all the company is not going to give out dividends this year. British American Tobacco Uganda as well will hold its annual general meeting on the 15th of June 2022 at exactly 10 a.m. The venue will be communicated by the company. On this day, you are required to come, identify yourself, and as well give a little bit more about what you do, and then you will participate in election of new leaders, appointment of new leaders as well, and approving a declared dividend of 209 Uganda shillings that has been proposed by the company. to give out as a dividend per share to all its shareholders. And the dividend payment date will be 11th of July 2022. So the 11th of July, BAT will be giving out its dividend to its shareholders, and the book closure date will be 20th of June 2022, right there for you. So if you have any shares in British American Tobacco, your dividend will be 209, and it requires your approval on their annual general meeting on the 15th of June 2022. Moving on to Uganda Clays Limited. Uganda Clays Limited will have its annual general meeting on the 29th of June 2022, and we'll have the book closure date on the 29th of June as well, 2022. So if you have shares in Uganda Clays, your meeting will be held on 29th of June 2022, on which you will also approve a dividend of 1.5 shillings that was proposed by the board to be given out in cash to those who have shares. That is 1.5 Uganda shillings per share in dividends terms of what you have in Uganda Clays. My name is Anthony. We are still going on. We had an interview a couple of days ago with Mr. Keith Kalijira, who is the Capital Markets Authority Chief Executive Officer, and the Capital Markets Authority was able to actually sign a memorandum of association with the Office of Public Prosecutions, that is a public PPD, Public Prosecutions Directorate, and they signed this memorandum of association in order to actually come up with the means of handling fraud and other, criminal cases on the capital market, and also to frame the legal structure of the capital markets further, because as you know, it's a very unique sector with many chances of actually getting into fraud. So later on, if my producer is ready, we'll be having that interview come on the show. But meanwhile, as we wait for that, a crypto firm holds mobile money pay after Bank of Uganda warning. Now, Binance, which is one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, has suspended cryptocurrency operations using mobile money for its Ugandan clients. The move comes after Bank of Uganda banned cryptocurrency related payment activities using the shillings. Now, early this week, Binance circulated an email to all its Ugandan clients announcing the suspension, which partly stated that our shillings payment partners are suspending withdrawal and deposit services until further notice. That is the story right there, which we are going to check out after this. But let's first have a look at what Mr. Keith Kalijira, the CEO of the Capital Markets Authority, had to say about signing a memorandum of association with the public prosecutions. We'll be right back.
Unfortunately, the public remembers that we exist when they're in trouble. And that's very unfortunate. There are many who claim to be fund managers who are in direct violation of fund management regulations, essentially taking money, claiming to invest, giving people a return is wrong. So there are many people who out there who have been deceived by the prospect of very high returns and fall prey. It's only when they realize that the interest are not coming in on time, or the offices where they used to wait and sign up are closed, but they start realizing the trouble, and then they're told the Capital Markets Authority exists. We have received a number of complaints from the public. I think so far we have received about several complaints, but about 5 different entities, which are at various stages of prosecution and investigation. Some of the challenges we've had are the turnover of investigators, but that is something we're working on with the Uganda Police Force to ensure there's continuity and no breaking investigations to ensure swift prosecution of these offenders. But again, we want to use the opportunity to tell the public that please do not fall prey. Don't remember that we're there and come to complain to us only when we've lost money. Many times it's a bit too late. Recovery is difficult, as the DPP said, but it's not impossible. So be warned and avoid. They say prevention is better than cure, so don't fall prey. Don't get conned by very high and attractive returns to your money. You might lose all your money. You might be thinking about a high return on your investment, forgetting that you may not get a return of your investment. To a very large extent, we think we've been doing it well, but it's continuous, it's non-stop. I know that last financial year, we reached out to a total audience of about 5.4 million Ugandans through direct and indirect channels. This has been ongoing. Sometimes delays in the process, but it's a continuous process. Public awareness is part and parcel of our mandate, and it's not easy to detect cyber crimes. So we always believe that people who are aware are better protected. A knowledgeable investor and an informed investor is well protected. The Capital Markets Authority, essentially, our main mandate is to protect investors. Our focus has been on licensing market players within the capital market space. These are collective investment scheme managers, fund managers. Unfortunately, the public remembers that we exist when they're in trouble. And that's very, very unfortunate. There are many people who claim to be fund managers who are in direct violation of our fund management regulations. Essentially taking money, claiming to invest, give people a return is wrong. So there are many people who out there who have been deceived by the prospect of very high returns and fall prey. It's only when they realize that the interest are not coming in on time, or the offices where they signed up are closed, that they start realizing they're in trouble, and then they're told the Capital Markets Authority.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Mr. Keith Kajira clarifying on a few cases of fraud and money fleecing, where the public has been fleeced of monies by people who claim to be fund managers and claim to deal in collective investment schemes and brokerage and so on, saying that actually the public awareness is the key to overcoming some of these challenges. As an investor, you must be aware of the public, the licensed people to handle your finances and invest them safely. And these should have a license from the Capital Markets Authority, who is the regulator of all the capital markets of Uganda. And so if someone doesn't have a license when you walk into their office, please move on, because that is already risking your monies. And that way, you can actually know who is the right person and who is not. And on the show, as we promised, we will also be bringing you some of these experts, some of these licensed companies that are in charge of investment, and they will be guiding you more on exactly what to do. Now, moving on, we were still talking about a story about Binance, which is a cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency trader that has been operating in Uganda as well. Is one of the largest cryptocurrency, traders on the market, and this cryptocurrency has been actually doing, transactions in Uganda, and due to the halt of all cryptocurrencies in Uganda, the firm called Binance has actually circulated an email to its Ugandan clients announcing the suspension, which partly stated that our shillings payment partners are suspending withdrawal and deposit services until further notice. Now, Binance has also given a grace period window of up to May 30th for any withdrawals in the Ugandan shillings. However, Binance stated that it will continue to provide further updates on possible resumption as it worked closely with relevant stakeholders. Meanwhile, other parts of the African continent have not been affected by the suspension. Binance remains committed to supporting growth of the blockchain ecosystem, the statement read. Mr. Umar Sebiara, the Celo cryptocurrency country lead,